When we're out looking at houses, we're gonna have a conversation about solar. And in 2022, there's a lot of conversations to be had. Is it leased? Is it a power purchase agreement? Is it owned? How much of the bill does it take away? What does my lender need to know about that? Let's give an updated version on all of the solar questions that you might be asking next. So let's break this down. We've got the house without any solar. Then we've got a house that's got a lease on it. Then we've got a power purchase agreement, and we've got owned solar. So those are all different ways to think about what the house has for you to manage your electric bill when you move here. Remember, I've talked about it being really, really hot. I want to help you be prepared because when it gets really, really hot, you really, really, really want to run that air conditioner. And I don't want you surprised when you get that bill and you're like, wait a minute, the lease was this payment. Why am I paying PG&E extra money? So let's go through it right now. Okay, so there's always the house without solar. Yes, there are many, many houses in town when we're looking that don't have it. And if you specifically want to look at houses that don't have it, I can change your search parameters so that we only look at houses that don't have it. Let's talk about a power purchase agreement first and foremost, because leases are on their way out and there tend to be more power purchase agreements in the sale and buy of the houses around town.
Power is power.
So a power purchase agreement, when it comes to solar, is something that you manage like you do a utility. It doesn't go to the debt or income portion of your loan, so it doesn't affect what you can afford. A lease does. We'll talk about that in a minute. So instead of paying PG&E, you're paying the solar company a lower rate for the same amount of usage. All right, so let's talk about this. As of August 2022, the PG&E kilowatt charge to somebody in a regular tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 goes like this. So those tiers are based on your usage. So tier 1 is 32 cents. Tier 2 is 39 cents. And then tier 3 right now is 49 cents. So that's per kilowatt usage. So then when you have a solar company with a power purchase agreement, you're paying probably half of that sometimes to the solar company. So the power purchase agreement is super easy to transfer. The seller just transfers it over into your name, just like when you're setting up utilities on your new home. Super easy. So now let's talk about the lease. So when you have a lease payment of a solar, even though they're phasing out, they are still in town.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here.
If you have the lease payment, you have to take that over. Transfers from the seller to your name as the buyer. So with the lease, somebody else has negotiated it. We have to know how long into the 20-year term they are. Did they buy it 4 years ago? Are they in their first year? Whatever. So those payments are pretty set. You know, somebody else set that up, and then they also transfer it out of your name and into your name, but you have to qualify to take over that lease payment. It's not a hard run on your credit or anything like that, but you do need to qualify for it. And it can affect the amount of home that you are able to purchase. That's kind of a bummer. So the house you qualify is $425. The lease payment for the solar, $275. Since that's a debt that doesn't really go away, like a car payment or a student loan, that stays with you for the entire time that you're living in that house. Your lender's gonna wanna know that because that affects what your mortgage payment will be. It'll affect maybe you can't afford that $425,000 house. That's something that you can work out with them. But you do want to find out for sure, is it a lease or is it a power purchase agreement? Because those things make a very big difference on the affordability of the home that you're looking to buy. Now let's talk about the owned solar. So the seller obviously has said, I want panels on my roof. Cool. They will put the amount of panels on their house that should offset the entire bill. That doesn't always happen, but it should make the bill pretty null and void at that point. Not that you're gonna be off the grid or you won't have a bill. But you should have enough panels. Usually when it's owned, they have enough panels over their house so that your bill is real low. Now, PG&E raises their rates, they have those tiers, and you're affected by that even when you own because, you know, you're running your air conditioner, you've got the pool pump, you know, whatever the situation is at your house. But you can still keep it really low because when you own it, you have enough panels to keep that offset really low. If you're looking to buy a house with solar and it says owned solar,
Shut up and take my money.
that's a good one. You want to make sure we get to go see that one straight away. The second best option, if you are new to this whole solar game, is going to be PPA, Power Purchase Agreement, because that's going to be the easiest one for you to manage. The third option is going to be lease, because that one's going to potentially impact your buyability, and that's why it's kind of on its way out, because it's impacting too many homes. But if solar is very, very important to you, a lease is actually a good way to go, because at least you have something on the house. So like I said, as of 2022, leases are on their way out.
So long, partner.
Power purchase agreements and owned tend to be more common nowadays, because people were putting solar on big time in 2011, 2012. So now here we are about a decade later. Most systems are owned that they bought back in the day. I will explain this till the cows come home when we start to look for your house. So don't worry that you have to memorize this video. We'll talk about it a bunch as we go forward in your purchase. And if you haven't gotten qualified to buy, good gravy, what are you waiting for? I have a bunch of local lenders that you can get qualified with so that you are a stronger offer. Remember, Bakersfield, we like everything local. So if you can get qualified with one of my preferred local lenders, you can just reach out to them, say, I'm working with Angel and her team to get a house up in Bakersfield. I need to get qualified, and they will help you out. They know they're on my site. They want to help you get qualified. My team and I look forward to helping you when you decide to move to Bakersfield. It's going to be great, and we can have all the solar conversations in person. Let's get you qualified. Let's get you qualified to buy with or without solar, and I'll see you around town.